Lisa has an exciting new project in the works. The former Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star has announced she has optioned a popular novel for her first ever scripted development deal. According to Briefing on Bravo, Rinna will develop Jane L. Rosen's 2022 novel, A Shoe Story, through her company Mrs. Productions Incorporated. The novel is about a young woman who has 1 month to recapture the future she thought she'd lost, per a synopsis of the book. Rinna told Briefing on Bravo she was drawn to the story because, as small-town girl, she dreamed about a bigger life in a bigger city. A Shoe Story captures the magic of that self-discovery journey with a bit of magical sparkle, a lot of heart, and a ton of fabulous fashion, the former RHOBH star said. It fit me like a perfect pair of shoes. Lisa Rinna's career has thrived since her RHOBH exit. Rinna was a cast member on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills for 8 years before announcing her exit from the series in early 2023. Since that time, she's embarked on multiple career firsts. In 2023, Rinna walked the runway for Rotate Burger Christensen in Copenhagen, per Entertainment Tonight. She also walked runway shows in Paris that year, and in April 2024, she posed for a high-fashion photo shoot with her daughter, Amelia Gray Hamlin, for fashion designer Marc Jacobs. On his SiriusXM show Andy Cohen Live, Bravo host Andy Cohen praised Rinna's career as a fashion model in her 60s. "I gotta tell you something. I did not have it on my bingo card that Lisa Rinna would become not only a model, but she is walking in couture campaigns in Paris," Cohen said in 2024. "She has become a real player in the fashion industry, and I'm really impressed. I've got to give it up to her. She's got 11 lives," Lisa Rinna, Cohen added of the actress turned entrepreneur. Since leaving RHOBH, Rinna also returned to acting in an episode of American Horror Stories and the Lifetime movie Mommy Meanest. Lisa Rinna's husband Harry Hamlin says leaving RHOBH was the best decision for his wife. With so many new endeavors over the past 2 years, Rinna's husband, Harry Hamlin, told Briefing on Bravo that his wife's move to bow out of RHOBH after 8 seasons was the best decision she ever made. "We were always a little circumspect about her doing it in the beginning," he added of Rinna's initial decision to join the Bravo reality show in 2015. "I was for sure. But as a branding opportunity, it turned out to be great for her. I think it thickened her skin a lot too, so it's a very difficult show to get through emotionally. But she did it, and we're still standing." A Shoe Story, Lisa Rinna's reinvention, stepping away. The sun had barely broken over the Hollywood Hills when Lisa Rinna slipped into her silk robe, padded over to her espresso machine, and smiled to herself. For the first time in years, there was no confessional chair waiting, no glam squad waiting to curl her hair or make her up. The cameras were gone, her house was quiet, and she felt electric. It had been 3 months since she said goodbye to The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, the show that had been equal parts battlefield and branding opportunity. Lisa had always known how to play the game. She didn't survive 8 seasons without learning to duck, jab, and deliver one-liners like a prizefighter. But now the gloves were off. She was no longer Lisa Rinna the housewife. She was something else entirely. And she had a plan. The manuscript sat on her marble countertop, pages dog-eared, scribbled with notes in pink pen and highlighter. A Shoe Story, by Jane L. Rosen. Lisa picked it up again, unable to resist. In the novel, a young woman named Esma returns to New York City after a heartbreak and a stalled career. She finds herself reconnecting with her dreams, falling in love in unexpected ways, and wearing the shoes she thought she'd left behind forever. It was a modern fairy tale with the grit of real life, and it struck a deep chord with Lisa. She knew what it meant to feel lost in your own story. She knew what it took to start over. Harry walked into the kitchen, still groggy in his flannel pajama pants. "You're reading that again?" he asked, kissing her temple. "I optioned it," Lisa said, smiling slyly. I'm going to produce it. My first scripted project. Isn't that wild? Harry blinked. You're serious. Mrs. Productions Incorporated is open for business, she said, lifting her coffee mug in a toast. And I've got a damn good story to tell. A pair of perfect shoes. The next month was a whirlwind. Zoom meetings with the author, pitch decks, mood boards filled with glittering shoes, New York skylines, and iconic cinematic moments. And the city meets Emily. Lisa pulled in her team, called in favors, and even considered directing. The fashion had to be flawless, the story had to sparkle. But above all, the emotion had to be real. I'm not just slapping my name on this, Lisa told her agent Darcy. I know people think that reality TV people don't know how to do anything but stir drama and sell lip gloss. But I'm here to prove them wrong. I've lived too much life to sit on the sidelines. Darcy smirked. So who's playing Esme? Lisa paused. She'd thought about it for weeks. Young, stylish, vulnerable, but strong. Someone who could wear heartbreak like a Channel trench coat and still strut down the street with purpose. I want someone new, she finally said. Undiscovered. I want people to fall in love with her the way I did with the book. Darcy nodded slowly. You're not just making a movie. You're building something. Exactly, Lisa said. This is my second act. No, third or fourth. Who's counting? Fashion Week and Forward Motion. The announcement broke while Lisa was in Paris, walking the runway in a sculptural black coat and gravity-defying heels for a couture house she'd admired since she was 20. She posed beside her daughter Amelia, radiant in rhinestones and feathers, and felt the flash of cameras like the heartbeat of her new life. Backstage, her phone buzzed relentlessly. Briefing on Bravo. Lisarinna to produce a shoe story in first ever scripted deal. The comments flooded in. She's a mogul now. That book is perfect for her. Hope it doesn't get ruined. Can't wait for the fashion alone. But one message stood out, a DM from Andy Cohen himself. You really did it, Rinna. Proud of you. Now don't it up. Lisa laughed. She liked that Andy still didn't hand out praise easily. It made it matter more. She typed back, just getting started, darling. Casting the spell, back in Los Angeles, Lisa and her team held auditions. A dozen hopefuls strutted through the doors in everything from Louboutins to vintage sneakers, reading lines with trembling hands and hopeful eyes. Then came Callie Hart. She wasn't famous, she wasn't polished, but when she stepped in front of the camera and delivered the line, I thought I lost my chance at love, but maybe I just needed the right shoes to find it again. Lisa felt a chill. Callie didn't act like Esme. She was Esme. Later, Lisa stood outside the studio, staring at the pink and orange sunset, heart racing. She thought of her daughters. She thought of the people who'd called her too loud, too old, too much. She thought of every moment that had brought her to this one. And she whispered, we found her. Lights, camera, reinvention. Filming began that fall in New York, a city bursting with history, heartbreak, and possibility. The crew shot in Soho, Central Park, the Upper West Side. Lisa was on set every day, clipboard in hand, headphones around her neck, a mix of nerves and exhilaration coursing through her. I feel like I've jumped off a cliff, she told Harry during a late-night call. He chuckled. You always land in heels. Lisa grinned. Damn right I do. There were challenges, of course. Weather delays. A key actor backed out 2 weeks before production. But Lisa met every twist with grit and grace. She even rewrote a scene at midnight in her hotel room when she realized Esme's big monologue needed more vulnerability. It's got to feel lived in, she told Callie on set. Don't just act like you're falling in love with New York. Feel it. Breathe it in. Let it remind you of who you are. Callie nodded, tears in her eyes. They nailed the scene in one take. The screening? 6 months later, Lisa stood on the red carpet outside the premiere in Tribeca. Reporters shouted her name. Fans held copies of A Shoe Story and begged for autographs. Amelia and Delilah were by her side, radiant in custom gowns. Harry held her hand, never prouder. Inside the theater, the lights dimmed. The screen flickered to life. For 2 hours, Lisa watched the magic unfold. Esma wandered city streets, rediscovered forgotten dreams, kissed a man in the rain, danced barefoot in a designer boutique. The audience laughed, they cried, they cheered. And when the credits rolled, they rose to their feet in thunderous applause. Lisa didn't cry, she wept. The afterglow, the reviews were glowing. Variety called the film a shimmering ode to second chances. Vogue declared it the fashion fairy tale we didn't know we needed. Even Bravo fans begrudgingly applauded. One tweet read, "Lisa Rinna might be the only Real Housewife to go from wine throwing to award-winning." Lisa returned to her suite that night, heels in hand, and stood before the hotel mirror. There she was. Not the soap star, not the housewife, not even the couture model, but the storyteller. The woman who'd risked reinvention at an age where Hollywood tries to push women off stage. She leaned in close, smirked at her reflection, and said, "You did it, bitch." And the shoes go on. Weeks later, Lisa sat in her office, reviewing the next round of scripts submitted to Mrs. Productions Incorporated. There was a comedy about a retired rock star,